What's up, guys? Dodgers Randy here for your game recap of today's 7-2 loss against the Cubs. Really quickly though, let's jump into these updates and then I'll go ahead and get into today's game. Urías, they said today he's now available to pitch out of the bullpen. He actually did come out of the bullpen tonight. It looked incredible. He had a very, very good night out there. So I'll get to that in a second. This game really sucked, so I'm like not in the most energetic mood right now. I'm sorry. They also said Martin will have a sim game Friday and probably be activated for the weekend, which I mentioned on Sunday, but again, just following up. And then Hill is starting Sunday. That is now confirmed. He pitched yesterday in Arizona in extended spring training, so he faced some young prospects and he struck out 16 hitters in 6 innings. So I think he's ready to go. It'll be great to see him on the mound Sunday and get some more help from Stripling in the bullpen. I'm really actually interested to see who they take from or who they're sending down, DFAing, whatever they're doing, because Yimmy has actually really been doing well tonight. So he pitched in tonight's game and he did give up a walk to the first batter. However, he did get a double play right after and then a ground out. And I realized in his last 6 innings pitched, including tonight, he's only given up 1 earned run. Twice he faced the Cardinals, twice he faced the Brewers, and then the Cubs. Out of that 6 game, because it was 6 appearances. So out of those 6 appearances, 5 against them were against very good teams, and he's holding up and doing really well. So he's putting a lot of pressure on the front office to decide what to do once Stripling goes to the bullpen on Sunday, or once I should say Hill's activated. So it'll be interesting. But let's get into today's game. It's the first meeting of the season for the Dodgers and Cubs. Kind of thought we'd be going into this game or into the series no issue. Cubs have been struggling. However, their last few games they have been playing better. Coming into this game, they were 10-10, so they're barely 500 team, or they were a 500, or now they're over 500, 1 game over 500. So we really should have done a lot better than we did. However, it all started with Maeda, and just from the very beginning, he was in trouble. He gave up 2 walks in the first inning. 1 was intentional to get to the pitcher. So the Cubs batted around in the first inning. He just could not find the zone. He either was finding too much of the zone or he was nibbling around the corners and just couldn't hit the strike zone. Umpire was terrible tonight. It kind of went both ways, so there's that. But Kenta just didn't look good. He gave up a 3-run double in the first inning, and then the very next batter gave up another RBI double. Same thing in the second inning. Gives up 3 singles and a 2-run home run. So he gave up 4 hits before finishing the inning, and he gave up, he got a single, a pop out, and then gave up 3 straight hits, 1 being a 2-run home run. And then the rest of the game, he looked really good. Well, I should say the next 2 innings. He only went 4 innings today. They pulled him, which did seem a little off to me because he was doing really well the last 2 innings. His last 2 innings, the 3rd inning only took him 6 pitches to get through. The 5th inning, he got 1, 2, 3 inning, 3rd and 4th. So I'm not sure why. It seemed like maybe they just wanted to get... It seemed like they wanted to get Urías in there for a couple innings tonight. I guess tonight would have been his start night anyways if they had kept him in the rotation. So Maeda didn't look good. He went 4 innings pitched, gave up 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So I don't know what happened with him. It sucks because he's not the most reliable guy on the mound. However, I just keep reminding yourself, like I do myself, he won't be in the starting rotation come playoffs, and he might not even be in the starting rotation come September. That will be Urías. Maeda will be in the bullpen with Stripling. However, right now, because of Urías' inning limit, they can't have him out there. Otherwise, I do think Maeda would be the next in the pen. So let's just hope he can figure it out enough to get us to where we need, help us get into the playoffs, and then he'll be in the bullpen. But Urías, he came out for 2 innings, looked amazing. He had 4 strikeouts in 2 innings, struck out the side in the 5th inning. He did walk 1 guy. He didn't give up any hits though. He just bunch of swing and misses, looking good out there, as he always does, it seems. I mean, out of his 2 starts, there were 2 starts this season he didn't look good, but it kind of reminds me a little bit of last year when he came out of the bullpen. He's just untouchable. Guys, just, they can't hit him. Ferguson came out. struggled just a little bit, gave up a solo home run and a walk, but that was it. And like I mentioned, Garcia killing it out there, so he's doing really well. Now offense. If you look at the score of the game, offense doesn't look that good. They did get 7 hits. They should have had more. However, the one thing you're not going to see in the box score is the atrocious calls by the home plate umpire. They were terrible. If you can find a way to go look back at kind of the pitch map where all the pitches were thrown, you will see that it screwed the Dodgers over quite a bit. There was a situation where Muncy came up and there were 2 pitches thrown. One was called a ball. Another pitch, almost identical to that pitch, called a strike, would have walked him, I think, instead of the inning being over. There was another another incident in the 8th where Pollock came up with the bases loaded, 1 out. Umpire made a horrible call. The ball was maybe that far off the plate, so on outside, foreside, low, so decent size, decent whatever, terrible call. And foreside, Jesus, did I just say foreside? God, I hope not. Pollock, I think I did, my bad. Pollock was not happy. He was pissed, and then he ended up swinging at a terrible pitch in the dirt right after that. So unfortunately, I don't know what they can really do with nights like this. When you have a bad umpire, you've really just got to work with it, and they should have hit a little bit better, I think, in the beginning of the game. I think Quinton is good. However, I think we should have hit him much better than we did. But it was just today's game. If they can win the next 2, I will be very happy. If they can win the next 2, they will have won 5 out of 7 on the road, which is great. That would be huge. 5 out of 7 road trips. So let's hope they can get that going and hopefully come out with 2 wins. Get the offense going before they come home, because these games with no offense are sucking, especially against a team like the Cubs, who we might see in the playoffs. There's no reason they should be beating us. We're just a better team. It's that simple in my mind. Kike struck out twice tonight. Taylor struck out twice tonight. He had a RBI. It was a ground out, 2nd and 3rd. So he grounded out. They weren't gonna, it was the 2nd run of the game. They were already up, I think, 7-1 at that point. So he did make contact. He did get the RBI. However, it was still a ground out. 0 for 3 on the day. I'm going to go back to him in a second, because I'm very frustrated with him in the lineup. Barnes walked twice. Muncy came in to pinch hit, and he pinch hit and struck out, like I had mentioned. And then he struck out to end the game as well. So it just kind of a lot of strikeouts, I guess you could say. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Holy shit. 11, I think. Holy crap. Okay, that is a lot. Never mind. But again, a lot of the calls were very, very bad. My thing with Taylor, this is all I've got for the rest of the night. I don't understand why he's in there over Verdugo. I know Verdugo came into the game, pinch hit, got a single. Of course he did. Pretty sure he's hitting 500 now as a pinch hitter, 5 for 10. However, I don't understand why Taylor is in there over Verdugo. I don't care if it's a left-hander on the mound. I do know why Taylor's in there. First, it's a pitching matchup, righty versus lefty. Secondly, they want Taylor to get out of his slump and to keep going and to do better. I don't think Taylor's an everyday player. In my opinion, there's absolutely no reason for him to be starting the day after an off day. There's no reason why Verdugo couldn't have been out there. They had an off day yesterday. In my mind, Taylor is a spot starter who plays when there's injuries or when guys need rest. Other than that, there's no reason for him to be out there, not even for matchups. He faced a lefty. He struck out twice. I think he's struck out now 19 times this season. But I looked at some of his stats, and he had 60 plate appearances, so 63 counting tonight. He's got a 170 average, which is garbage. And for those of you who don't care about average, it's 161 now, which doesn't make any sense because he didn't get a hit. Anyways, for those of you that don't care about average, I don't care about average. I care more about on-base percentage, OPS, whatever. Some people don't care for those. Those are garbage as well. On-base percentage, 267. His slugging is 264. He has a 26.7% strikeout rate, so he's striking out every 4 at-bats, or a little bit more than every 4 at-bats. And he has a 531 OPS, which is on base plus slugging. That is very, very bad. That is the worst on the team, I believe. To give you an idea, elite is around, I think, like 800, 850 would be considered elite. Maybe it's closer to 900. But to give you an idea, oh, come on, you're not going to work on my iPad. Oh, that's lame. On my iPad, it would have showed me the OPS of the whole team, but I can't because it's on my phone only. But he's the worst on the team right now. There is no ifs, ands, buts about it. I don't get it. To me, there's no reason for him to be playing. I just think this is the type of player he is. He's either going to be hot or cold. We've seen him come off the bench. He did really well. And he just doesn't look good up there, guys. He has a 49 weighted runs created. Now, for those of you that don't like advanced stats or don't know what that is, I'm going to give you a quick definition from MLB's website. So it's actually WRC plus is the acronym for it. It takes the statistic runs created and adjusts that number to account for important external factors like ballpark or era. It's adjusted so a 100 WCR weighted runs created plus of 100 is league average. So your 100 is league average. Chris Taylor has 49. That means he is 51% worse than league average at creating runs. So that gives you a really good idea. He's not doing well at all. That's very, very bad. I'm actually going to try and look up how bad that is compared to the rest of the league. But yeah, sorry this video wasn't that good. This game kind of like stole all the energy out of me. But as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's get that win tomorrow. We got Walker Buehler on the mound, so I think he'll turn it around, look good for us out there. And let's get that win tomorrow. Hopefully no Chris Taylor, because I think they have a lefty on the bench or on the mound tomorrow, so hopefully Taylor's sitting out. Yeah, Cole Hamels. So let's go get that win tomorrow. Go Dodgers. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button. I would appreciate it. Hitting the dislike button is worse for me, so even if you guys aren't happy with the Dodgers, hitting that dislike button sucks. But otherwise, have a good rest of your night, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.